senior we're going to introduce is Marquise Nelson. Second person we have up, our next senior is Kimberly Rodriguez. Third senior we have is Karina Gutierrez. Our next senior we have center. We have Sierra Salas. The fifth senior we have is Sabrina Sanchez. I just realized that half of our team are seniors. Our sixth senior is Leovia Spivey. Now I'm going to hand the mic off to our first senior, Marquise Nelson, so she can address everybody.
Hello? I just want to thank everyone for coming out. I really appreciate every one of you guys. And I just want to thank my coach, Coach Kyle. He's been an amazing coach these past 2 years. Also want to thank my JV coach, Miss Chavez.
Next up, Sabrina Sanchez.
I like to thank everyone out for coming here and my family, because they run everything. They run the snack shack over here. And teach a lot of things. Thank everyone. I'd like to thank all my teammates. It's really good to be playing you guys this year. I'm going to miss you guys next year, and thank you.
Last up, Lily Spivey. And before we get this started, we're going to get warm-ups going. I just want to thank everybody here, because it's not just 12 girls, one coach. It doesn't go like that. It's a culture, it's an environment, it's everybody who's out here who supports us every day, our school, our principal, our AD, teachers, everybody who is here, okay? So we appreciate all you here. Perfect. And we want to keep building on what we're doing each year and get better and better. And if we can keep doing that, and everybody's having fun, everybody's learning, and it's in a great environment, a family environment, then we're doing our job over here. We don't call it a job because it's not really a job. It doesn't matter about the paychecks, it's about the girls behind us and the families right here. So I appreciate everybody, and hope you enjoy the game tonight. Hold on.
We have one last thing for our wonderful coach. We just got him a little something to show him our appreciation. So.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the game. Thank you.
Broadcast on CreaTV Sports is a Central Coast Section girls basketball matchup, the regular season finale of the 2018-2019 season. The Oak Grove Eagles coming into town to take on the host James Lick Comets. Both these teams at 15-8. Oak Grove with a 5-4 record in league play. James Lick at 4-5. Oak Grove in a three-way tie for second place in the division. James Lick in fifth place, having a little bit of a struggle these last couple of games, especially with their last matchup against Piedmont Hills, which we brought to you last week. And they've had a fair share of struggles on offense. Had a chance to talk to head coach Kyle McIntyre before the game started, and he expressed to me that was one of their concerns leading up to tonight's game, because their offense has been lacking just a little bit, going well below their season average of 60 points a night and barely topping out at 43. So that is something that they're definitely going to want to fix. But either way, both these teams coming in at 15-8, like we mentioned before, and Oak Grove has been playing some good basketball as of late. As we mentioned, they are 5-4 in league play and a three-way tie for second place in the division. So this is going to be a very fascinating matchup. Both these teams playing very, very different styles. Oak Grove more of a slow down the pace, half-court style of team. James Lick, they want to press and hit the accelerator at any chance that they get. So the contrast in styles should make for a very intriguing storyline. And of course, all the mystery around where these teams will end up when postseason play begins. It is just right around the corner. Hard to believe we're towards the end of the regular season for Central Coast Section girls basketball action. But let's go ahead and bring you the starting lineups for both these teams. Let's begin with the Oak Grove Eagles. This is the starting five for head coach James Davis in his 8th year with the Oak Grove Eagles program. Tiffany Wynn will start at point guard. Stephanie Madrigal is the forward. Brandy Lee and Larissa Asensio are also at guard. And Melissa Felix is the other forward, rounding out the top five. For the James Lick Comets, this is the starting lineup for head coach Kyle McIntyre in his 2nd year with this program. Sierra Salas, Lizbeth Galdamez, and America Galindo are at the guard positions. When we were broadcasting last week, America Galindo was actually injured, but she is healthy enough and ready to go. And Dulce Jacobo and Marquise Nelson are at the forward positions, and that is the starting five for James Lick High School. And so with the starting five, we will go ahead and step away for just a brief word from our sponsors. And, of course, we want to take this time to thank the Eastside Union High School District for their partnership with CreaTV Sports to help us bring this broadcast to you on the air tonight. When we come back, we will have the opening tip-off from the Comet Center at James Lick High School. More to come on CreaTV Sports, and we will have all the action for you right after this.
Oh, come on.
Whoa, what's all the fuss about?
Hey, Ned Neutral. I'm just trying to apply for a job opening, but the page won't load. What's the point of paying my internet service provider if they can't give me simple access to a website?
Well, Sam, that could be the new norm if net neutrality rulings are reversed.
Net neutrality?
Communication is a necessity, which is why the FCC deemed the internet a public utility in 2015.
What does that mean?
It means that the internet was regulated, and internet service providers couldn't block or slow down content that they didn't agree with. But that's all changing now. The FCC plans to reverse net neutrality and give corporations the freedom that they want.
What can they do with this power?
Well, that's the scary part. They can slow down any service that they disagree with, block news outlets, or bring your web pages to a halt.
That's horrible. We as consumers need to have our voices heard and tell them to keep an open internet.
You better do it fast, because if net neutrality is restricted, then you might not have the platform to speak through.
Why's that?
Because the open internet is a platform for marginalized voices, if you want to question large internet providers, you will receive a one-way ticket to access denied.
Content removal, information restriction, speed throttling? It's just not fair. The public deserves equal access to the internet.
So call your representative, contact the FCC, let them know how you feel, and fight for an open and fair internet.
Hello? Ned? Anyone there?
This show sucks.
What the?
Don't like this program? Did you know you could create your own?
Really?
Yeah.
What the?
First, there are a few things you need to know about copyright. Copyright is any intellectual property that is protected by law, such as literature, movies, music, and more. If you want to use intellectual property, you must get permission from the owner.
But what if we can't get permission?
Legally, you can't use it because you would be at risk of content removal and lawsuits. However, copyright fosters new and innovative ideas.
If I want to produce content, but I can't get permission for intellectual property?
We can use our own creativity.
Copyright! Just remember, copyright is all around us, which means I must be going.
Cool. Now I want to make my own video.
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comet Center on the campus of James Lick High School in San Jose, California. Ready for the opening tip between the Oak Grove Eagles and the James Lick Comets. CCS girls basketball regular season finale as both these teams are getting ready for postseason play. Oak Grove at 15-8 overall, 5-4 in the Blossom Valley Athletic League Santa Teresa Eastern Division. James Lick at 4-5 in league play, 15-8 overall as well. As both these teams, as we mentioned, are getting ready for postseason play. The tip-off is about ready to commence. Our officials tonight are Jonathan Logan and Wayne Heel, and as you see at the center logo, Stephanie Madrigal for Oak Grove is lining up for the opening tip. She will go head-to-head with Marquise Nelson. Oak Grove in their black road uniforms with the blue letters and yellow borders outside the letters and numbers. James Lick in their home whites with the green letters and numbers. Oak Grove wins the opening tip, and they have the opening possession. And away we go from San Jose. Tiffany Nguyen at the point guard position. At the controls for the Oak Grove offense. As we mentioned, they are very much a half-court team. And Stephanie Madrigal, their leading scorer, she will be a big part of the game plan for Oak Grove tonight. Swinging it around the perimeter. A three of the far corner is just a bit short. That was a miss by Brandy Lee, and here comes James Lick up to the front court. James Lick loves to play at a fast pace, and that's exactly what they aim to do here. Galindo at the controls, going one-on-one against Melissa Felix. Galindo calling for it on the low block, and instead it's Jacobo with possession. Jacobo, a three beyond the free throw circle, and she misses off to the right, and the rebound is collected by Larissa Asensio. Tiffany Nguyen back at the controls, brings it out to Asensio. Nice feed inside to Madrigal, going off glass. She cannot finish, gets her own rebound, goes off the glass, and gets the first bucket of the night. As you can see there, Madrigal has the height advantage over everybody else, has a 6'1" frame, so her matchup with Marquise Nelson is definitely going to be one to watch as we have a stoppage in play as Galdamez for James Lick has to get the sneakers relaced. So they'll let her do so for a few seconds as Galindo will inbound right in front of the scorer's table, and Galdamez is it back at the controls. Now the ball is in the hands of Sierra Salas, one of the seniors who was honored tonight. That's actually why we had a bit of a delay in the opening tip-off. Here is Galindo trying to go off glass, can't finish with the left hand, and the rebound goes back to Oak Grove. She gets a little bit tied up, and we have a jump ball, and that rebound went into the hands of Melissa Felix. And it appears the possession will stay with James Lick. 6:37 to go here. We're about a minute and a half into the first quarter of action. Galindo takes the inbound pass as she goes to her right. Jacobo calling for it on the low block. Gets the high arcing pass. Goes around her right shoulder with a nice finish, and Galindo gets on the board. Jacobo gets on the board first. Turnover in the backcourt. Galdamez has it on the right block. And feed inside to Jacobo. Gets the basket and the foul. And they're going to get Tiffany Nguyen for the foul. That is her first of the night. And so Jacobo has a chance for a three-point play. Jacobo does not get the three-point play. Madrigal brings down the rebound, and here comes Oak Grove once again as they look to push. Nguyen brings it up to the front court, being hounded by Salas right beyond the three-point line. He has to get it away. James Lick definitely going with a man-to-man approach here. Here is a three from the far corner, and it grazes off the front side of the rim as Galindo collects the rebound, as Brandy Lee is not quite hitting her target so far, 0 for 2 from three-point range. However, James Lick does turn the ball over, and it goes back to Oak Grove. 5:54 left here in this first quarter. James Lick off to a 4-2 lead to get things going. Nguyen bringing it up to the front court, gets a double team, feeds it inside to Madrigal, draws the contact. She will get herself to the line, and Jacobo draws the contact. And so that is Jacobo's first of the evening, which sends Madrigal to the line for the first of two free throws. And she does get the first one to go. In fact, Stephanie Madrigal is quite the talented multi-sport athlete. In fact, I had a chance to talk to head coach James Davis a little bit about his team as Madrigal misses the second free throw. We'll get to more of that in just a moment. Nelson with the rebound. Here she comes into the front court for James Lick. Nice feed inside to Jacobo and misses nearly everything. Good recovery there by Galdamez. Nelson can't get it on the third chance. She gets her own rebound. Tries to go off glass again. Fourth chance doesn't go, and Wynn gets the rebound off the loose ball, and here she comes. Wynn waiting for her teammates to get to the front court. After Madrigal splits the free throws. Still a 4-3 lead for James Lick in the early going. A 3-ball, far corner pocket. That one goes, and that is a 3-ball for Brandy Lee. And this is going to cause head coach Kyle McIntyre to call a timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout for head coach Kyle McIntyre, as we talked about, his second year at the helm of this James Lick Comets girls basketball program. In fact, they took home a league title from the West Valley Division a year ago, which prompted them to move up to the Santa Teresa East Division. So you definitely say it has been a year of growth and challenges for them, but he has taken them head on. You can definitely see that his team has followed suit in this season where they have moved up. Although as of right now, Oak Grove giving them everything they can handle and then some, as that timeout has been called. 5:07 left to go here in this first quarter. As James Lick brings the ball up to the front court, that is America Galindo with possession. Goes to her right, tries to get the offense set up, calling for a screen. Jacobo's trying to call for it, uses the screen from Nelson. Galindo tries to finish with the left hand, and she goes off glass and in. Ties this game up at 6, and here comes the full court press once again. Wynn having a hard time with it. Nelson gets the steal into the hands of Salas. She can't finish. Galindo had the rebound for just a second. Last touch by Madrigal. It will stay with James Lick. 4:42 left here in this first quarter. Actually, the possession goes back to Oak Grove, I beg your pardon. And Madrigal still having a tough time with that full court press, looking for some help. They're able to break that press. Here is Lee. She's going to stop and pop from 3, and that one's good. Back-to-back threes for Brandy Lee, and it's now a 9-6 lead for Oak Grove as we're coming up on 4 minutes left here in this first quarter. Jacobo just beyond the three-point line. She tries to respond from 3 and misses everything, and this is going to go right back to Oak Grove. And head coach Kyle McIntyre wondering about the shot selection there from Jacobo. Still plenty of time left on that shot clock. Turnover in the backcourt as James Lick recovers. Here is Salas going back to Jacobo, looking for Nelson on the inside. Does the Euro step around Madrigal and finishes. Nicely done there by Nelson. Trims the deficit to 1 for James Lick as Oak Grove finds a way to break the pressure. Here is Lee. Fade back mid-range. Jacobo with the rejection and sends Nelson on her way. Nelson into the front court, tries to challenge Madrigal, tries to go off glass, cannot finish. Galdamez has the rebound off the floor. Jacobo from 3, off back iron, rebound by Nelson. Nelson going up against Madrigal, tries the contact and gets herself to the line. And Madrigal, it will be called for the foul. So that is Madrigal's first, and Nelson will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Can't quite get the shooter's roll as Nelson's free throw attempt just hit front iron. As good as Marquise Nelson has been for James Lick all season long, Kyle McIntyre was telling me that everybody has to step their game up, especially in a big league game like this, as Nelson splits the free throws, and we are tied at 9, 3:35 and counting left here in this first quarter. We have a foul in the backcourt. And the foul is going to be called on America Galindo, so that is her first of the night. And possession will remain with Oak Grove as Melissa Felix will inbound it to her teammate Tiffany Wynn. Neither team going to their bench as of yet. It's been a little bit disjointed here on the flow of this opening quarter. Tiffany Wynn looking for her offense to get set up, and she brings it into the front court as Salas going man-to-man on defense with Wynn trying to go to her left side. Bounce pass to her teammate, and that is Felix who draws the contact. She will get herself to the line. Foul is on Jacobo, and already she's in a little bit of foul trouble. She has 2 in the opening quarter. First free throw from Felix is off the heel of the rim. So she will look to split the free throws on this next shot. Second free throw on the way is good from Felix, so she at least splits those free throws. And Oak Grove takes the lead right back at 10-9. 3:10 and counting to go here in this first quarter. Galindo is at the controls, bringing it up to the front court. Galindo will pop from three. Bingo! Strong start from Galindo. 5 points here early on in this first quarter as she puts James Lick out in front by 2. Oak Grove with a 3-on-1 break if they choose to hurry. Nice read on there by Jacobo, and she gets the steal. Here comes James Lick back into the front court. Galindo at the controls. Goes out to her left-hand side. Tries to use the screen from Jacobo and swings it around to Salas instead. Salas directing traffic, utilizes the screen from Jacobo. Tries to find Nelson beyond the three-point line. Kicks back out to Galdamez at the far corner. And she moved her feet a little too much. That is a travel. We will have our first substitution of the night, as Shea Lilly will check in for the first time for Oak Grove. And she will give Melissa Felix a rest. 2:29 left here in this first quarter. And here is Brandy Lee with 6 points already in the first quarter as Oak Grove tries to figure out how to break that press. And so far they've been handling it fairly well. Win one-on-one with Galdamez near the center logo. Coming up on 2 minutes left here in this first quarter. Brandy Lee coming up beyond the three-point line to help her out. Finding Lily at the near corner in front of the James Lick bench. Has a little bit of issues with ball control, and they call her for a travel as she was trying to drive the lane and could not handle the dribble very well. And now it goes back right to James Lick. Coming past the 2-minute mark here in this first quarter, James Lick with a 12-10 lead. Galindo, bit of a bunny hop mid-range, and she misses everything. And it's another travel for Oak Grove as Asensio was trying to find someone to pass it to in the backcourt. And a backcourt turnover for Oak Grove. It goes back to James Lick. Inbound to Jacobo. And here is Galindo for three, and she hits it right in front of the crowd. And Galindo out to a nice start here. 8 points in the first quarter. James Lick with their biggest lead on the early going. And we have a foul in the backcourt. And it's going to be on Nelson, so that is her first of the night. 1:39 left to go here in the first. James Lick still going with that full court press. Here is Asensio going up against Salas, and she goes into the front court, nearly lost it going back to the other side. Would have been an over and back if she had lost it altogether. Double team going up against Brandy Lee. She breaks it, but I think she may have stepped out of bounds, but I think they're going to call James Lick for a hip check. And the foul is going to be on America Galindo, so that is her second of the night. Inbound from Lee, 1:23 and counting here in this first quarter. Wynn using the screen from her teammate Madrigal, and it's another turnover for James Lick. A 3-on-1 break if they hurry. Nelson loses control, collected by Galdamez. Nice finish by Jacobo. 6 points in the early going here for Jacobo. James Lick now up 17-10. They continue to use that full court press. Bounce pass to Lily, a deep two, and she misses everything. That's a rebound by Galdamez, and Salas looks to push. Final minute of play here in the first quarter. James Lick is up 17-10. Jacobo head fake for the three. It's back to Salas. Salas cross court to Galindo, trying to clear things out, maybe trying to look for Nelson on the low block. Jacobo pops from three, off back iron, and Madrigal gets the rebound. Wynn back into the front court. She will pop from three. It rims in and out. Galindo with the rebound. 28 seconds left in the quarter, and head coach Kyle McIntyre telling America Galindo to slow up and play for the final shot of the first quarter. Galindo using the screen from Nelson that goes to her right. Now the ball in the hands of Salas. 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. Swinging it around. 7 seconds left. 6, 5. Galindo tries to drive baseline. 3 seconds left. Trying to look for an open look, and they cannot get a shot off. Madrigal gets the steal, but cannot get the last second shot off in time. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter. Strong start for the James Lick Comets as they lead 17-10 at the end of the first quarter. America Galindo leading all scorers with 8 points after the first stanza. More to come from the Comet Center on the campus of James Lick High School in San Jose right after this.
This show sucks.
What the?
Don't like this program? Did you know you could create your own?
Really?
Yeah.
What the?
First, there are a few things you need to know about copyright. Copyright is any intellectual property that is protected by law, such as literature, movies, music, and more. If you want to use intellectual property, you must get permission from the owner.
But what if we can't get permission?
Legally, you can't use it because you would be at risk of content removal and lawsuits. However, copyright fosters new and innovative ideas.
If I want to produce content, but I can't get permission for intellectual property?
We can use our own creativity.
Welcome back as we get ready for the second quarter of action here at the James Lick High School campus here in San Jose as James Lick creates another turnover, and here they come on their way. America Galindo back into the front court, going to her left side. Nelson calling for it on the low block, and instead goes back to Jacobo. Galindo pops from three. It goes off glass and off iron. Nelson, nice rebound, and she cannot get the putback. And there is Madrigal with the rebound, and Oak Grove is on their way. Here is Wynn. Bounce pass to Lily. Tries to go off glass. She can't get the bucket, but she does get herself to the line. And the foul is called on Sierra Salas. That is her first, and that will send Shea Lily to the line. So Shea Lily gets to the line after drawing the foul on Salas. Her first free throw on the way. And that first free throw is good. So Lily makes the first. Second free throw is on the way. It is up, and it is good. So Lily does make both free throws. It brings Oak Grove back to within 5. Coming up on 7 minutes left here in this first quarter. Here is Galindo into the front court. Does not use a screen from Jacobo. Terminated the dribble a little too soon, and she could not get the pivot foot established, and so that is a travel. And ball goes right back to Oak Grove. They can try to make this a one-score game early on. Wynn directing traffic as she goes into the front court. Salas is ready to meet her right there for man-to-man defense. Feed inside to Madrigal. And that was a pass right to Felix. She could not handle it, but looked to be last touched by James Lick, so it will remain with Oak Grove. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Wynn on the inbound, looking for somebody to throw it to. And looks like a warning on James Lick. I believe that was Salas who had stepped on the boundary line. And here is the inbound to Madrigal. Trying to drive to her right side. Wynn had it for a second, almost lost it to Salas, but Wynn recovers it near the center logo. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Wynn directing traffic, trying to clear some space here, going to her left. 1 second left. I don't know if they realize it, and they can't get the shot off. It's a shot clock violation. Asensio was not aware of how much time was left on the shot clock, so good defense there by James Lick to force the 30-second violation. 6:45 left here in the second quarter. Here is Salas bringing it up to the front court. Jacobo coming up for the screen, and it is being used. Goes back to Jacobo, fighting a double team. Tries to feed it back inside to Salas, and that was a nice read there by Sam Legaspi, who just checked in a little bit ago. And we will have a substitution here. And so Miley Alifua checks in for the first time. Here's a kickback out. Galindo for three and misses everything. Madrigal with the rebound. She caught a little bit of Nelson's arm in the process, too. So this is going to be interesting to see how they call this. And they do call the foul on Nelson. A little bit of a tough break there as Madrigal got the tough rebound and got part of Nelson's arm in the process. So it's already 17 fouls on James Lick. And so this will send Oak Grove to the line for the 1-and-1 bonus. 6:21 left in the first half. This will send Stephanie Madrigal to the line. Had only 3 points in that opening quarter, but now with these 17 fouls against James Lick, this could make the defensive strategy for James Lick very interesting. First free throw for Madrigal is good. So with the 1-on-1 bonus, now that Madrigal makes the first free throw, she gets a second chance. Second free throw on the way from Madrigal. It is a bit short, and Nelson gets the rebound. So Madrigal splits the free throws. Galindo is at the controls. Here is Alifua at the near corner, right in front of the Oak Grove bench with possession. Galindo backs away. I think she's trying to drive baseline there for just a second. Feed inside to Alifua. Backs in towards the key area. Galindo off the side of the backboard, and Nguyen gets the rebound, and she tries to send Legaspi on her way, but nice steal there by Galdamez to get that loose ball. Alifua going back and forth with Nelson. Alifua loses possession. Last touch by Oak Grove, but it does stay with James Lick. 21 seconds left on the shot clock. 5:45 left here in the second quarter. Here is the inbound to Salas right in front of the James Lick cheer squad. Trying to feed it inside to Alifua, who was double teamed, and Oak Grove with a nice defensive read on that one. And so now this will be Galdamez who will inbound it right in front of the bleachers. Trying to look for somebody to pass it to, and Salas gets herself open. Way to stick with that one. Salas gets the basket and the foul. And that foul will be on Legaspi. That is her first, and Salas has a chance to capitalize on the three-point play. Free throw on the way. Bit of a line drive shot. It goes off left iron, and Madrigal with the rebound. Sprinting her way into the front court to try to break that press before it could get set up. 5:23 and counting here in the second quarter. Oak Grove trailing by 6. Madrigal draws the contact. She will get herself to the line. This will be a shooting foul this time. And the foul is going to be called on Alifua. That is her first as she checked in. And this will be a timeout. A full timeout by head coach Kyle McIntyre for James Lick, and we will step aside for just a few seconds. This game, of course, being brought to you by the Eastside Union High School District. A very generous donation and partnership with CreaTV Sports enables us to bring this live broadcast of Central Coast Section girls basketball to you on the air. James Lick up by 6. We will step aside for just a few seconds, and we will be right back.
This show sucks.
What the?
Don't like this program? Did you know you could create your own?
Really?
Yeah.
What the?
First, there are a few things you need to know about copyright. Copyright is any intellectual property that is protected by law, such as literature, movies, music, and more. If you want to use intellectual property, you must get permission from the owner.
But what if we can't get permission?
Legally, you can't use it because you'd be at risk of content removal and lawsuits.
Welcome back to the Common Center at James Lick High School. Madrigal's first free throw rims in and out. She's been getting herself to the line, but capitalizing on the opportunities has been quite a different story. Second free throw on the way from Madrigal is good, so she splits the free throws, brings Oak Grove back to within 5. And James Lick brings it up to the front court. Alifua having a little bit of difficulty there near the center logo, but Nelson there to calm things down. Galdamez trying to drive baseline, feeds it inside to Alifua instead. Tries to force the shot, gets her own rebound, and cannot finish either way. With the rebound and the outlet pass to Wynn. Here she comes 3-on-2. Wynn feeds it out to Asensio. Asensio with a little head fake to get Salas in the air, but she feeds it back out to Wynn. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. And Jacobo is heading right to the scorer's table. She will check in at the next dead ball. Wynn finds Lee. Goes to her left, feeds inside to Madrigal. Doesn't really have a shot there, trying to feed it back outside. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Asensio, jump stop, tries to go off glass, can't finish. Alifua with the rebound. Galindo looking to push the pace there. Good read there by Madrigal with the turnover. Lee back into the front court, peels out beyond the three-point line, and Oak Grove has a new possession. Tiffany Wynn looking to direct traffic here. 4:13 left here in this first half. Cross-court pass to Lee. Still trying to swing it around the perimeter here to get a good shot. Here's Asensio at the controls. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Bit of a bunny hop there for Asensio, and he can't get it to finish, and there is the rebound by Galdamez. Alifua near the center logo, finds Galindo. Thought about passing it inside to Nelson, tries to force it anyway. Madrigal comes up with a steal. Madrigal outlet to Win, tries to force the issue, but is really more of a 1-on-3. Drives baseline over everything, and Galindo gets the air ball rebound. 3:35 left here in this first half. James Lick holding to that 5-point lead as we stand here. A lot of on-ball screens there for this James Lick offense to try to create some separation here. Galindo pops from 3 at the top of the key, misses, and it's a rebound by Felix. But she's going to try and push this one herself. She's got nobody in front of her. Felix makes the layup there, and that was a key basket there. Brings Oak Grove back to within 3. So Felix gets on the board, her first field goal of the night. Coming up on 3 minutes left here in this first half. Salas utilizing the Nelson screen, going to her right. Feed it inside to Galindo, feeding a cutting Nelson, misses everything, and Felix with the rebound. Tiffany Wynn looking cross court for somebody to get open. Terminates the dribble and finds Felix. A lot of the guards camping out beyond that three-point line there. 2:36 left here in the first half. Felix giving Wynn a screen. And swings around to Asensio. Now it's to Brandy Lee, who's got a couple of threes in her own account already. Feed inside to Madrigal. Leads with the left shoulder. It can't get anything to go. And this will be a contact foul on James Lick. And this will send Oak Grove right back to the line because of the number of team fouls. And so Alifua with her second foul of the night. It sends Melissa Felix to the line for the 1-and-1 opportunity. 19 fouls on James Lick as it stands right now. And they're actually calling that a shooting foul. They called it in the act of shooting, so Felix misses the first. And we have some substitutions as Dulce Jacobo checks back in alongside Valeria Gonzalez-Galdamez. So Felix misses the first free throw. Second free throw on the way, and she misses both but gets her own rebound. But Jacobo was right there to steal it away from her. A little bit of chaos there near the center logo as the ball just changing hands back and forth. It's like a big game of hot potato at the center logo. And we had a whistle and a travel near the center court logo, and it goes right back to Oak Grove. Well, you want to talk about 15 seconds of chaos. I think you just saw it right there. 2:09 left here in the first half as James Lick holding on to a 3-point lead. Marquise Nelson right there at the center logo, meeting Tiffany Wynn. Now Asensio drawing the double team near the center court logo. Back to Wynn it goes. Tries to break that pressure there. It is a contact foul, and Felix gets the bucket, and that's got to frustrate head coach Kyle McIntyre. So Felix gets the basket. She now has 5 points on the night. That is Jacobo's third foul, and she already has to go right back to the bench. So Felix has a chance to capitalize on a 3-point play here. Free throw is up, and it's good. And we have a tie game at 19 with 1:46 left until halftime. Salas taking it up to the front court. Galindo at the scorer's table. She will check in at the next dead ball. Alifua using the screen from Nelson, goes to her right, tries to drive all the way to the basket, and she gets it to go for her first bucket of the night. Ball goes out of bounds at the backcourt. It will stay with Oak Grove. However, we have our substitution as Galindo will check back in for Salas. Felix inbounding it. Nelson guarding the inbounds, as that always presents a challenge there. Here is Asensio bringing it up to the front court. Lee pops from three, hits back iron. Galindo going for the rebound, and she had it for a second, and she finally gets control. Just sort of a chase down ball between her and Madrigal. 1:12 left here in the first half. Galindo stops and pops from three. Got it. Galindo showing some nice touch there, popping from three. That's 11 points for her in the first half. And here comes that full court press defense again. Nelson bats that one out of bounds. It will stay with Oak Grove. But you can see there, when James Lick is able to implement that full court press, they become a completely different team. Here's the inbound to Wynn. Final minute of play here in the first half. Here is Wynn to the front court. Pops from the free throw line and gets it. 24-21 now for Oak Grove, as they trail by 3. 43 seconds left here in the first half. Galindo towards the cheerside squad of the bleachers there on the far side, trying to feed Spivey on the inside. Nice read there by Felix as she gets the loose ball on the turnover. 30 seconds left until halftime. Wynn into the front court. She will pop from three and cannot get the shooter's roll. Madrigal had the offensive rebound and she corrals it. Felix tries to go off glass and does not finish. Galindo with the rebound. 16 seconds left, and I think they'll probably play for the final shots. Shot clock is off. 10 seconds left. Ali Fool using the screen. Ali Fool looking for somebody to pass it to. Madrigal able to read the pass there. Goes in towards the basket and cannot finish before halftime. And it may have been a little bit disastrous there towards the end, but for James Lick High School, even after all that, they still head into halftime with a 3-point lead. And we will take a short break here, but before we do, we want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsor, the Eastside Union High School District, for their generous contribution to allow us to bring CCS girls basketball to you on the air tonight for CreaTV Sports. Halftime here at the Common Center at James Lick High School. James Lick with a 24-21 lead over the Oak Grove Eagles.
Come on.
Whoa, what's all the fuss about?
Hey, Ned Neutral. I'm just trying to apply for a job opening, but the page won't load. What's the point of paying my internet service provider if they can't give me simple access to a website?
Well, Sam, that could be the new norm if net neutrality rulings are reversed.
Net neutrality?
Communication is a necessity, which is why the FCC deemed the internet a public utility in 2015.
What does that mean?
It means that the internet was regulated, and internet service providers couldn't block or slow down content that they didn't agree with. But that's all changing now. The FCC plans to reverse net neutrality and give corporations the freedom that they want.
What can they do with this power?
Well, that's the scary part. They can slow down any service that they disagree with, block news outlets, or bring your web pages to a halt.
That's horrible. We as consumers need to have our voices heard and tell them to keep an open internet.
You better do it fast, because if net neutrality is restricted, then you might not have the platform to speak through.
Why is that?
Because the open internet is a platform for marginalized voices, if you want to question large internet providers, you will receive a one-way ticket to access denied.
Content removal, information restriction, speed throttling? It's just not fair. The public deserves equal access to the internet.
So call your representative, contact the FCC, let them know how you feel, and fight for an open and fair internet.
Hello? Ned? Anyone there?
This show sucks.
What the?
Don't like this program? Did you know you could create your own?
Really?
Yeah.
What the?
First, there are a few things you need to know about copyright. Copyright is any intellectual property that is protected by law, such as literature, movies, music, and more. If you want to use intellectual property, you must get permission from the owner.
But what if we can't get permission?
Legally, you can't use it because you would be at risk of content removal and lawsuits. However, copyright fosters new and innovative ideas.
If I want to produce content, but I can't get permission for intellectual property?
We can use our own creativity.
Copyright! Just remember, copyright is all around us, which means I must be going.
Cool. Now I want to make my own video.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Whoa, what's all the fuss about?
Hey, Ned Neutral. I'm just trying to apply for a job opening, but the page won't load. What's the point of paying my internet service provider if they can't give me simple access to a website?
Well, Sam, that could be the new norm if net neutrality rulings are reversed.
Net neutrality?
Communication is a necessity, which is why the FCC deemed the internet a public utility in 2015.
What does that mean?
It means that the internet was regulated, and internet service providers couldn't block or slow down content that they didn't agree with. But that's all changing now. The FCC plans to reverse net neutrality and give corporations the freedom that they want.
What can they do with this power?
Well, that's the scary part. They can slow down any service that they disagree with, block news outlets, or bring your web pages to a halt.
That's horrible. We as consumers need to have our voices heard and tell them to keep an open internet.
You better do it fast, because if net neutrality is restricted, then you might not have the platform to speak through.
Why's that?
Because the open internet is a platform for marginalized voices, if you want to question large internet providers, you will receive a one-way ticket to access denied.
Content removal, information restriction, speed throttling? It's just not fair. The public deserves equal access to the internet.
So call your representative, contact the FCC, let them know how you feel, and fight for an open and fair internet.
Hello? Ned? Anyone there?
This show sucks.
What the?
Don't like this program? Did you know you could create your own?
Really?
Yeah.
What the?
First, there are a few things you need to know about copyright. Copyright is any intellectual property that is protected by law, such as literature, movies, music, and more. If you want to use intellectual property, you must get permission from the owner.
But what if we can't get permission?
Legally, you can't use it because you would be at risk of content removal and lawsuits. However, copyright fosters new and innovative ideas.
If I want to produce content, but I can't get permission for intellectual property?
We can use our own creativity.
Copyright! Just remember, copyright is all around us, which means I must be going.
now I want to make my own video.
Oh, come on.
Whoa, what's all the fuss about?
Hey, Ned Neutral. I'm just trying to apply for a job opening, but the page won't load. What's the point of paying my internet service provider if they can't give me simple access to a website?
Well, Sam, that could be the new norm if net neutrality rulings are reversed.
Net neutrality?
Communication is a necessity, which is why the FCC deemed the internet a public utility in 2015.
What does that mean?
It means that the internet was regulated, and internet service providers couldn't block or slow down content that they didn't agree with. But that's all changing now. The FCC plans to reverse net neutrality and give corporations the freedom that they want.
What can they do with this power?
Well, that's the scary part. They can slow down any service that they disagree with, block news outlets, or bring your web pages to a halt.
That's horrible. We as consumers need to have our voices heard. And
Welcome back to the Common Center at James Lick High School, ready to begin the third quarter between Oak Grove and James Lick. James Lick with a 24-21 lead. Oak Grove with the opening possession here in the third quarter. As we get things going here on CreaTV Sports. Feed inside to Felix, and she kicks it back out to Asensio. Oak Grove still trying to get their offense set up here. They've been a little bit up and down here in this throughout this entire first half. Really, the offense has kind of come and gone in spurts. Nice bounce pass to Madrigal, and she can't quite get the shooter's roll. Jacobo with the rebound, and she gets the outlet pass to Nelson, and James Lick will get their offense going here. Just one note to pass along to you here. America Galindo leading all scorers with 11 points on the night. Brandy Lee is the top scorer for Oak Grove, at least tied with her teammate Melissa Felix with 6 apiece. And the aforementioned Galindo is right there. Feeding it inside to Jacobo. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Tries to go off glass and can't finish. Madrigal with the rebound. Passing it up ahead. Trying to feed it to Felix on the inside. Good read there by Jacobo on the inbound, on the insert pass. And it will stay with Oak Grove. 23 seconds left on the shot clock. Here is Wynn inbounding it underneath the James Lick basket. And she finds Felix on the baseline. Felix to her left shoulder. And they kick it back out to Wynn. 6:51 left here in the third quarter. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Here is the feed to Madrigal trying to fight through a double team. And she goes off the back iron and rebounded by Felix. Asensio trying to drive the lane, and she can't finish. And it's a loose ball on the floor. This is going to be a jump ball. Possession error is with James Lick, and they will have the possession here. 6:35 left here in this third quarter as Galindo will bring it up, utilizing the Jacobo screen. Galindo pops from 3 up behind the screen, can't finish. And Madrigal with the rebound. Wynn bringing it up to the front court here as we come up on 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. Neither team has scored a basket here to start things in the second half. Wynn going behind the back on the dribble, and Salas is still right there with her. Swings it around. Here is Lee for 3, and she gets it to go. And a full timeout being used by head coach Kyle McIntyre as that 3 ties things up at 24. This is a full timeout, which gives us an opportunity to thank the Eastside Union High School District for their generous donation to allow us to bring tonight's game to you on the air through CreaTV Sports. So a big thank you to the Eastside Union High School District for their partnership with CreaTV. So for Oak Grove, Brandy Lee with 9 points on the night, all coming from shots beyond the 3-point line. In fact, that one was a very key 3-pointer there. As mentioned earlier, Melissa Felix also has 6 points. Stephanie Madrigal with 5 of her own, but she's really making an impact on the glass. If she doesn't have 10 rebounds tonight, she's awful close. And for James Lick, as we mentioned earlier, America Galindo with 11 points on the night. And she is the only player on either side who has double digits in scoring. 6:05 left as Galindo brings it up to the front court. James Lick's offense has been a little bit up and down here, especially during the first half. Trying to use some sort of screen there, and they do the cross-court pass to Galdamez, feeding inside to Jacobo. Over her right shoulder, and she puts that one through. Which James Lick back on top by 2. 5:42 left, and here comes that full-court press once again. Bringing it up to Asensio. She's into the front court. Thought about the three, but sends it back to Felix. 5.5 minutes left here in the third. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Actually, 14, I beg your pardon. Trying to feed it inside to Felix, and that was last touched by Jacobo, so we'll stay with Oak Grove. 5:24 left on this one, and 12 seconds left on the shot clock. This will be win on the inbound underneath the James Lick basket. And this is going to be a timeout called by Oak Grove, and this is going to be a full timeout. Actually, it's 30-second timeout, I beg your pardon there. As you can definitely see, the defense is playing a big role here for both of these teams. In fact, that bucket there by Jacobo put her at 8 points there, so one more basket and she will get herself to double digits on the night. As you can see, this has definitely been a defensive struggle right from the get-go. There have been times when Oak Grove has been able to navigate that full court press, but there have been other times where it's just been absolutely overwhelming. In fact, a lot of turnovers for Oak Grove have been in the backcourt. So the inbound underneath the James Lick basket. A little bit of off-ball screens there as Wynn is trying to look for somebody, and she took way too long. 5-second inbound violation, and this will go right back to James Lick. Galindo brings it up to the front court to her right, using the Jacobo screen, going back to her left. And gets it right back to Salas. Salas using the on-ball screen again. Inside to Jacobo. Goes over her right shoulder and rims in and out. Madrigal gets the rebound. Outlet pass to Wynn and sends it on her way. Goes into the front court. Outlet pass to Felix. Gets it back to Wynn. Pulling it out beyond the three-point line as Felix is going to give her the screen. Wynn for three, and it's off back. Gets her own rebound, and she cannot finish. And Nelson rips the board away from Felix. Jacobo sending it on her way. Nice advanced pass to Galdamez, who puts it in for the finish. James Lick back up by 4. 4:35 left here in this third quarter. There you see when James Lick is able to get out and run on the fast break, they are tough to stop. Wynn swinging around. Asensio with the head fake. Tries to drive the lane. Kicks it back out to Wynn. Swinging it around to Lee. Thought about the 3 for a second. Here's Asensio. She had a good look for three, and that was an air ball. It looked like Jacobo got a hand on that one. Nelson with the board and brings it up to the front court. Accelerates just a bit, but the bounce pass. Jacobo for three. Bingo. James Lick now out to a 7-point lead, and they're really bringing the full court pressure there. Wynn is able to break it. And now here is Madrigal out beyond the three-point line. Wynn trying to use the screen from Madrigal and now has drawing Nelson on the assignment. Madrigal inside, fighting through the double team, and she cannot finish. Tries to get her own rebound, but instead it's Galindo. But she loses it out of bounds and will stay with Oak Grove. Actually, they're going to reverse the call here. It's going to go right back to James Lick, and here is Galindo bringing it up to the front court. 3:36 left here in the third. Galindo using the Jacobo screen, goes to her left, and it's a turnover. Nice steal there by Asensio, and here's a 2-on-1 break. Lee goes off glass, can't finish. Wynn with the rebound on the offensive side. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. Wynn using the Madrigal screen, drawing Nelson on the switch. Wynn trying to go to her left. Doesn't really have anywhere to go, and Madrigal's going to try and draw baseline. Draws the contact and will get herself to the line. Shot at the free throw line, and that is Jacobo's fourth of the night, so a little bit of foul trouble there for the forward. And Madrigal's first free throw is in. And pulling a little switcheroo there. There's Galdamez, who's going to go right beside her teammate Jacobo. And Oak Grove is sending 3 players back behind the center logo there. Second free throw by Madrigal is in and out. And the rebound pulled down by Nelson. Nelson's actually been fairly quiet tonight. Only 3 points on the night. Jacobo pops from 3 off front iron. And Wynn gets the rebound all by herself, and that was uncontested. Jacobo had been feeling it there for just a second. Here is Asensio beyond the three-point line. Nice drive right through the lane by Lily, but Nelson had the rebound. Madrigal gets the steal in the backcourt and puts it in herself. That is 8 points now for the senior forward, and now Oak Grove is back to within 4. 2:33 left here in the third quarter. Things getting very interesting now between these two league rivals. Salas using the screen. Galdamez, baseline mid-range jumper, does not go. And that is a rebound. It was in the hands of Madrigal for a second. It was a bit of a fight between her and Nelson. Tiffany Wynn bringing it up to the front court, swinging around. Lily, mid-range jumper, and she gets it off glass and in. Shea Lilly now with 4 points off the bench, coming up on the final 2 minutes of this third quarter. James Lick still bringing it around outside the three-point line, utilizing a bunch of different screens there. Jacobo will pop from 3 again, too strong, and Asensio with the rebound. Asensio letting everybody pass by her as she brings it up to the front court. Here is Wynn at the controls again. 1:41 to go here in the third as Oak Grove is now trailing by just a bucket. Galdamez playing a little bit tighter defense there, trying to force her to go right. Does so anyway, and a little bit of a bunny hop inside the painted area. Nice recovery there by Madrigal, puts it in, and we are tied. Madrigal now with 10 points on the night. Coming up on the final minute of play here in the third is a feed inside to Jacobo with the mismatch. Nelson just inside the three-point line and gets it through. Big bucket there by Nelson, puts James Lick back on top, and here comes the full court press again. Galdamez forcing her to the far sideline, but here is the outlet pass. Nice idea there to feed it to Lee, but she could not corral it. Kicks back out to Wynn, head fake, free throw jumper, misses everything, and the ball goes out of bounds and will go right back to James Lick. I don't think head coach James Davis was very happy about that shot selection. Probably thought it was a little bit too rushed there. 50 seconds left here in the third. James Lick up by a bucket. It's been a little bit up and down here, but people starting to hit their shots here in the last couple of minutes. Jacobo tries again from 3 and is a little bit short. Wynn with the rebound and maybe forced that shot a little bit too early. Wynn pops from 3 in response. Off back iron. Galindo with the board. Galindo trying to force it ahead to Nelson. That pass did not have enough on it, and Asensio makes the nice read. 20 seconds left. Lily for 3, blocked by Galindo, but right into the hands of Madrigal. Swinging it around, Oak Grove will play for the final shot of the third quarter. Wynn to her left, Madrigal coming out to give her the screen, and she does. 5 seconds left. Wynn from the free throw line, rims in and out, and that is how this third quarter will end. So some interesting shot selections here for both teams, but after 3, James Lick with a 2-point lead, 33-31 over the Oak Grove Eagles. When we come back, we'll have fourth quarter action from the Common Center here on CreaTV Sports. Don't go away.
This show sucks.
What the?
Don't like this program? Did you know you could create your own?
Really?
Yeah.
What the?
First, there are a few things you need to know about copyright. Copyright is any intellectual property that is protected by law, such as literature, movies, music, and more. If you want to use intellectual property, you must get permission from the owner.
But what if we can't get permission?
Legally, you can't use it because you would be at risk of content removal and lawsuits. However, copyright fosters new and innovative.
Ready to begin the fourth quarter of action here at the Comet Center at James Lick High School. 33-31 lead for James Lick as Oak Grove with possession right near the center logo to get things going. Just a little bit of a quick reset here for you. Oak Grove still with four timeouts left as Asensio puts that one in from three and gives Oak Grove the lead. Actually, that's a two-pointer, beg your pardon, so we're tied. Asensio's first basket of the night, and we have an off-the-ball foul. And that's going to be a foul on Shea Lilly, her first of the night. Both teams with a foul apiece, so neither one really in danger of going into the bonus as of yet. Two timeouts for James Lick, left four for Oak Grove, so that might come into play a little bit later on. Immediately to center with a double team on Jacobo, and Lilly gets the steal. Passing out to Legaspi, kicks it out to Asensio. Had the game-time bucket just a bit ago, and now Oak Grove looking to take the lead. Wind directing traffic as Salas tries to come up to play a little bit tighter defense. Asensio handling the hot potato pass there in front of the Oak Grove bench. Goes to her right. Tries to find Madrigal, but Galindo with a nice read and gets the steal. Galindo bringing it up to the front court. Utilizes the Jacobo screen, and here is Salas with possession. 21 seconds left on the shot clock here. 7 minutes left here in the fourth. Galindo from three. A little bit short off front iron, and Legaspi tracks that down nicely for the rebound, but she steps out of bounds, tries to claim she was pushed, but the ball will go right back to James Lick. Galdamez inbounds it to Jacobo. Tries to go off glass. A little bit of a tough angle there, but she gets her own rebound. Second chance, can't get it, and Madrigal gets the board. A couple of golden chances there for Jacobo, but could not quite capitalize. Here is the extension pass to Legaspi. Lilly tries to fight her way through the lane and can't finish, and Galindo has the board. Here she comes up to the front court. Galindo thought about the three for a second. Jacobo, head fake, goes to her left, thought about the three again. Galindo will pop this time, misses everything, and Madrigal has the rebound off the air ball. Gets the outlet pass to Wynn. Here she is back into the front court with Salas trailing her. Wynn to her right, going towards the free throw line. Madrigal there for the screen. Gets it back to Madrigal on the two-man game. Madrigal for three. Misses, and that is Nelson with the board. Nelson bounce pass to Salas. Tries to drive baseline. Cannot quite get the shooter's roll. It trickled all over back iron and except everywhere but the basket. And Madrigal with another rebound. And we have a timeout called by Oak Grove, and that is a full timeout with 5:56 left to go here in the fourth quarter. We are all deadlocked at 33. So Oak Grove now with 3 timeouts left. James Lick still with 2 timeouts. Just to keep in mind on the game reset here, the possession error is with James Lick with 1 team foul apiece for both teams. And this gives us an opportunity to once again thank our sponsor for tonight's game. That, of course, is the Eastside Union High School District. A big thank you to the Eastside Union High School District for their generous donation to allow us to provide you with live coverage of tonight's game. And, of course, a big thank you for their partnership with CreaTV to bring you some of the best in high school athletics. As I mentioned earlier at the top of the broadcast, this is the regular season finale for both teams. Actually, we were a little bit delayed at the opening tip because they were going through some of the senior night festivities. And really some of the festivities also included honoring the seniors of the visiting team, Oak Grove. So that was a very nice gesture on the part of the host, James Lick Comets. As you can see, both teams emerging from their timeouts, as you can see James Lick right there on your screen. An unusually quiet night for Marquise Nelson as she only has 5 points tonight, but Dulce Jacobo and America Galindo both with 11 points apiece, so they've been getting a lot of scoring from their other options tonight, so that has really been a big help for them. Asensio finds Madrigal at the free throw line. Asensio from 3, tried to use the glass and couldn't finish. And the rebound is by Nelson as she brings it up to the front court. Nelson to her right. Almost a collision course there between her and Jacobo, but there is Galindo out beyond the three-point line. You can see very much a free-flowing offense for James Lick as they were trying to look for Jacobo down low. And last touch by Oak Grove, so this will stay with James Lick. 13 seconds left on the shot clock with 5:27 left to go. Galdamez inbounding it from in front of the James Lick bench. And that is a turnover by James Lick, so a good read there by Melissa Felix to step in front of that passing lane and get the ball right back to her teammates. Now here is Tiffany Wynn bringing it up to the front court. Swinging around, Asensio had a good look at a three. She's going to take it anyway. Can't get it. Felix with a nice offensive board, and she can't finish on the second chance. Jacobo with the board. Jacobo up to the front court, now has it with Salas. Galindo using the screen from Jacobo, goes to her right. Using a screen again to go back to her left, and nice way to fight through that screen there by Felix. 12 seconds left on the shot clock, 4:46 left here in the fourth. Swinging around to Nelson. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Galdamez had to force that one up. A tough angle there and a bit of a bailout foul there. I believe they're going to get Asensio for the call. And my suspicion is correct. So that is Asensio's first foul. And Galdamez gets herself to the line for 2 shots. First free throw from Galdamez is off to the left. It was only the second team foul on Oak Grove, so as I mentioned earlier, neither team really in a whole lot of danger of putting the other in the bonus situation. Galdamez misses the first, and she misses both, but she gets her own rebound, tries to go up with it, and could not finish. Madrigal with the rebound. However, she's caught in the backcourt under a double team, but finds Wynn as a bailout. Wynn driving the lane and tried to find Felix there, but it is a loose ball on the floor. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow is with James Lick, and so they get possession back. Good catch-up defense there by Galindo to create that jump ball scenario. 4:20 left here in the first quarter. Still deadlocked at 33 here at the Comet Center tonight. Blossom Valley Athletic League Santa Teresa East Division matchup between these two teams. Oak Grove in a 3-way tie for second place in this division. James Lick is in 5th place, but only one game separating these two teams. Nelson thought about the three, feeding it inside to Jacobo. Turns around, gets it to finish. 13 points for Jacobo to lead all scorers, and here comes that full court press again. Good movement there by Oak Grove on the ball. Here is Wynn. Thought about driving the lane, stopped it. Kicks it back out to Felix for the finish. Looked to me there that Wynn had a bit of a lane to try and drive and finish herself, but decided to feed it off to her teammate instead. Salas, a wild shot off glass, and Madrigal gets the board. And a little bit of a near collision at center court between Salas and Wynn. Ball does remain with Oak Grove, however, so they will inbound it right in front of their own bench. Wynn going to her right. Nice feed on the inside to Madrigal. She can't finish, however, and the rebound goes to Galdamez. Galdamez kind of tight roping the sideline there, but she gets to the front court. Almost trapped in the corner there, and that forces head coach Kyle McIntyre to call a timeout. So he only has one timeout left, 3:04 left to go. So all tied at 35. See some of the fans, even some of the littler ones here, taking in some of the action tonight. Only question is, will that one get home before bedtime? You can probably see around the gymnasium some of the artistic renderings of some of the James Lick basketball jerseys here, honoring some of the seniors tonight. Of course, high school basketball is always a family-friendly event. So Galdamez will inbound it underneath the Oak Grove basket, trying to look for Nelson, but Galindo recovers the loose ball. Some good defense there by Wynn, trying to trail Jacobo. Jacobo looking for somebody to pass to, a cross-court pass to Galdamez. Look at Asensio with the tough defense there. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. They got to get something off here soon. Does Jacobo recognize it? 3 seconds. Has to heave up a wild shot, and that missed everything. And Madrigal with the air ball rebound. 2:37 to go here. Each possession becoming that much more valuable here. Can Oak Grove come away with another league victory, or will James Lick be able to hold on here in their home court? Asensio steps inside the three-point line. Mid-range jumper, can't finish. And Galindo with the rebound. 2:17 to go here in this one. All tied at 35. Offense has been hard to come by here in this fourth quarter. Galindo for three. Off back iron. And the rebound goes right to Nelson. Nelson takes the step, draws the contact, and gets herself to the line. And so they get Melissa Felix for the foul. That is her first of the night. And so Marquise Nelson has 2 free throws. Nelson making the first free throw at a critical juncture here in this fourth quarter. For that free throw, only had 5 points on the night. One of those rare nights that she's been struggling to get on the board. Second free throw is up and good. Those are very critical points there for the James Lick Comets. Now up 37-35, 2:02 left here in this one. You can hear the defense chants emanating from the crowd tonight. I believe we have a timeout called on the floor. It's a full timeout called by Oak Grove. Utilizing that timeout there, and both these teams using up whatever timeouts that they have remaining. So coming up on 2 minutes left here in this fourth quarter, and one more time we want to give a special thank you to the Eastside Union High School District for their sponsorship of tonight's game. Eastside Union High School District making a generous contribution to allow us to bring you tonight's live coverage of Central Coast Section girls basketball. So a big thank you to the Eastside Union High School District for their partnership with CreaTV in San Jose. Tension starting to build a little bit here at the Comet Center. The host James Lick Comets up by 2. 1:57 left to go here in this one. One thing we want to mention here, just a little bit of a game reset where everything is going. 2 timeouts left for Oak Grove, 1 timeout left for James Lick. Oak Grove with 3 team fouls, James Lick with only 1. And possession error is with Oak Grove, so you may want to keep that in mind. Win with a bunny hop on the key, and this one is tied once again. Galindo using the screen from Nelson. Goes back to her left using another screen. Felix able to fight through that one, though. Nelson with a head fake from the three-point line. Tries to go one-on-one with Madrigal, and she turns it away. Madrigal's coming up with some nice defensive stops here for Oak Grove tonight. 1:21 left in this one. Oak Grove with an opportunity to take the lead. Win for 3. Off the glass. Felix with an offensive rebound. Can't finish. Nelson with a nice tough board, but it goes off of her hands, and it stays with Oak Grove. $1:12 to go. 14 seconds left on the shot clock here for Oak Grove. Here's the inbound to Madrigal. One-on-one with Jacobo, leading with her right shoulder. Goes to her left, can't finish. Nelson, the big rebound. Here's Jacobo going into the front court. 1 minute left to play. Salas feeding Galvanez to the inside. Nelson from the free throw line. Off back iron, and Madrigal with the rebound. James Lick going cold at the worst possible time. Here's a 3 on the way from Lee, and that misses. Jacobo with the rebound. 45 seconds left to go here in this one. James Lick going to slow walk this one up here. 17 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. 34 seconds left to play in this one. Galindo trying to drive the left side. Can't finish. Bit of a wild shot there as Madrigal gets the rebound. 26 seconds left on this one. Tied at 37. Here is Wynn coming up to the front court. Oak Grove with an opportunity to take the lead. And head coach James Davis is going to call a timeout here. He does have 1 left. And really right now, both the shot clock and game clock are at 20 seconds left. So really, for Oak Grove, that timing couldn't have worked out any better. Because as of right now, the thing they can do is they can really slow play for the final shot of the game. So this will be a very key defensive sequence here for James Lick to try to force overtime. Of course, they really do thrive on forcing turnovers, but right now, might be a bit of a big risk here if they want to try to overplay the passing lanes here. And really, if you're Oak Grove, you really got a couple of options here. You don't really need the 3 to win this one. You just want to find the best shot available, either that, or if you can draw contact for a shooting foul, you could definitely do that as well. Keep in mind, there's only one team foul on James Lick, so if there's a foul on the floor, the only thing it'll do is really stop the clock. Wynn will inbound it right in front of the crowd, as you can see across the way. And inbounds it to Asensio. So Wynn is back at the controls to set this offense up. 15 seconds left to go. Wynn directing traffic, calling for the screen from Asensio. Instead, she's going to get it to her instead. 8 seconds left. Wynn to her left, drives the lane, forces it up. She draws a contact that gets to the line. Unbelievable. Blocking foul on Galindo. That is her third. And Wynn possibly has an opportunity to put Oak Grove in the lead at the best possible time. First free throw from Wynn on the way. It rims in and out. Little sigh of relief there for James Lick, and head coach Kyle McIntyre going to call a timeout here. But what a suspenseful finish that we have here at the Comet Center here in San Jose. Really, what James Lick better hope for at this point is that Tiffany Wynn misses the second free throw, because if she does, it'll at least give James Lick an opportunity to get the board and maybe just play out the clock and go to overtime. However, if Tiffany Wynn makes this second free throw, the pressure really goes on James Lick, because that was the final timeout that they just used, so they could not even advance the ball to center court off a timeout if they chose to do so, because this is basically it for them right here. So potentially this entire game rides on the second free throw attempt by Tiffany Wynn. Either improve Oak Grove's league record to 6-4 overall, or we could be looking at a 5-5 league mark for James Lick. Either way, quite a finish, and for a regular season finale, you couldn't really ask for anything better. With both teams coming out of the timeout, this is potentially the game right here on this second free throw attempt. Couple of dribbles. Free throw is up, and it is good for Tiffany Wynn. It's probably going to be a crazy inbound here. Jacoba looking for somebody to throw to. Inbounds it, way overshoots Galdamez, and it goes right back to Oak Grove. Oh, my. Bad miscue there for James Lick. Head coach James Davis for Oak Grove going to use his final timeout. 4 seconds left. Oak Grove up by 1, and really the only hope for James Lick at this point is to just foul as often as they can. However, with only 2 team fouls, doesn't really afford them a whole lot of time. So really their only chance to get a decent opportunity here is they have to hope for a turnover. That's really the bottom line. So you can see James Lick emerging from their bench after that timeout here, as Oak Grove going over some final instructions on this inbound. Definitely trying to make the smart play on this one here on this inbound. Here is Madrigal on the inbound, trying to find Wynn. I think that was a deflection off of James Lick player, so this will remain with Oak Grove as Madrigal inbounds it on the baseline. Okay, direct traffic here, looking for Tiffany Wynn. And I think they're going to get Marquise Nelson with a bit of a inbound violation here. I think they're going to get her for stepping on the line, trying to defend that inbound pass. So this creates a technical free throw situation here. They send Tiffany Wynn back to the line. Key free throw here. It's up, and it is good. She gets the shooter's roll. Second free throw on the way for Wynn. This could really ice the game here, and it does not go through. So Wynn splits the free throws, and she will get to inbound. Actually, Oak Grove will get to inbound near the center court logo. James Lick really needs a turnover in the worst way. Here's the inbound to Madrigal. 3 seconds left, and they will foul Madrigal right there behind the center court logo. And they will charge Sierra Salas with the foul. And the clock is at 0, and the ref has said, yep, that is the ball game. Well, I got to tell you, that is probably one of the most interesting endings I've ever seen. Now we get the official buzzer, and so that will do it here from the Comet Center tonight as Oak Grove comes away with a victory here, 39-37 over the James Lick Comets. Oak Grove improves to 16-8 overall, 6-4 in league play, and James Lick's skid continues as they fall to 15-9 with a 4-6 record in league play. So the only question is, how will these teams go forward into postseason play? As you probably already know by now, the CCS Basketball Championships will be taking place on February 22nd and 23rd, so a couple of weeks away from doing that. But all the mysteries left is how will these teams stack up as they go into their respective postseason brackets. But that will do it for us here from the Comet Center here at James Lick High School in San Jose. I want to thank everybody that was involved in tonight's broadcast. As you can see, all the credits here on your screen. Also want to give a big thank you to our camera ops and production assistants here tonight. And also a big thank you to the athletic departments from both Oak Grove and James Lick High School. And last and certainly not least, our big sponsor, the Eastside Union High School District, and thanking them for their partnership with CreaTV tonight. For everybody at CreaTV San Jose, my name is Philip Kern. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Once again, your final, the Oak Grove Eagles defeat the James Lick Comets by a final of 39-37. Good night from San Jose.